I don't know enough about drugs, so this is why I always think, like you said, it's a tough call because it's a very grey area, and you know, none of us are probably going to sit here and say drugs are great. Whenever I see anything about drugs, whether it's programmes or reading things in the paper, people I've interviewed, there's a lot of misery that goes with it. You don't always hear good drug user stories.
That's because everybody who's taken drugs is a hypocrite. You'll never find any politician who said, I smoked a joint and it was great.
Yeah.
They always say, oh, I didn't inhale.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I sit here and I say, I did smoke dope. My head didn't drop off. I haven't turned into, a peculiar person. I haven't grown another arm. And, of course, some people... drugs does have a detrimental effect, but that could be true of so many things.
But that's my worry. As a parent, I think if the minute you decriminalise something, does it make it more attractive? So if my son might not have thought about taking drugs if he had to skulk around the back of a, nightclub somewhere and buy it in the car park, but he might think about taking it if he can go to a nice, shiny, clean shop
but he wouldn't
and
be
pay
able
for
to
it
go.
out in the
legal
open.
and people, well, it's
but he
legal,
wouldn't
so
be able
it's
to
right.
go under the age of 18. Plus, in America, they've already decriminalised drugs in 3 states. And the results haven't been the kind of breakdown of, law and order, and it hasn't been the end of civilisation.
But then
we know it.
everything that I've read lately of the reviews they've done, particularly of skunk, so they're saying, cannabis that possibly you smoked in your youth, it's 10 times stronger than the stuff the kids are smoking now.
Agree.
And it leads, all the reviews and all the studies say it leads to, in a lot of cases, to psychosis, to very severe mental health problems. So that's my concern, is that something that starts off as recreational, and you could say that I know about smoking, but I think, well, if my son has a cigarette, he's probably not going to drop dead. But you hear of cases, somebody tries their first e-tablet or first
That's
shot
because
of
you don't know
heroin.
what's in the tablet.
Well, exactly. So is this not part of the case for the decriminalisation? If they regulate it, then they can make it safer. I find it a very grey area. I remember when I was 14, there were pictures plastered all over the place of Leah Betts, who had taken an ecstasy tablet, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm never ever going to touch drugs, and I've remained very strong-minded, strong-willed when it comes to drugs. But now my daughter's 14. Does she have the same feeling? Is she more impressionable than I am? And what if she wanted to dabble in it? I mean, obviously I don't want her to, but would I not prefer that it was safe and regulated? Would I not prefer that?
I think it's really difficult, especially as a parent, to sit here and go, oh yeah, I think we should decriminalise it, because you feel like you're saying it's okay to take drugs and now it's not against the law, So I think as a parent you worry about saying that to your children.
Of course.
But I'm interested to see if they do it as a test run, to see like a pilot scheme somewhere, to see if it does make a massive difference in any respect, and then it would be worth doing. But at the moment they haven't given me any real evidence that it's going to work.
I have to say, I think the decriminalising bit, I kind of see that maybe prison and things isn't the place for people that have a drug problem, because actually,
I just think the police have got better things to do, and they've got too much to do as it is, and they've lost the war on drugs, in my opinion.